Good morning, YouTube. How are we all going today? Well, it's morning where I am. It's about 8:30 here in Perth, Western Australia. The sun is out there, but over there it's terrible. I got about an hour's riding, so so I just thought, because it's the first chance I've had to do this, and I'm going to introduce you to my new toy. Now, don't get me wrong, I've still got my Iron 1200. I will not get rid of that bike. I love that bike to bits. Spent a lot of money on that bike to get it the way I like it. I love riding it. But I'm going to introduce you to that. Have a look at it. Have a look at it. Is that awesome or what? Absolutely insane. This is a Z1000. I picked this up probably a week and a half ago. I haven't had a chance to ride it or do any vlogs because our weather's been absolutely shocking. It's been raining and windy. You think it's the start of spring. We've had a couple of good days when I was at work, so I really couldn't do anything. But if you look over there, all the clouds there, there's a big storm front coming through there. They've forecast rain for this entire weekend. It's a long weekend for us, so it's a holiday tomorrow as well, Sunday and Monday. Yeah, but have a look at it. Z1000 2010. It is immaculate. Now, I managed to pick this up. I had to put new tyres on it because you can still see all the ferry bits on it. The back one was down to the wear mark in the middle, as the guy that owned it was a farmer, and he just did a lot of straight road riding. Not many turns where he lived, I'm guessing. But I did detail it. It was covered in dust. I did buy it from another dealership here in Perth, a motorcycle dealership. I picked this up for basically $6,000 Australian. $6,000. I mean, these things everywhere else, everyone's advertising them anywhere between 8 to 10 grand. Talk about right place at the right time. And it's only got 7,488 k's on it now as of me riding it here. Thereabouts, yeah. So, man, what a beast. This thing is totally different from the Harley. So different. This thing is insane. I've had two of these before. If you look at my Instagram page, you'll see there's another black one and an orange one that I had. I love these bikes. The only downside, I must be a sucker for this kind of thing, is fuel range. 15 litre fuel tank. They do get a bit thirsty when you get on them a bit. You probably get about 190 k's out of a tank if you're lucky. If you're riding it hard, maybe 200, just over if you're not. It has come with pretty much everything on it that you see. Like these are, you see these here, these are Vance and Hines pipes. Apparently they no longer make these. They're called Urban Brawlers or CS1s. It came with the tail tidy on it. I put the reflector on it. That didn't have that on there before. They're actually a legal requirement here. It's got a, looks sick from the back, big fat tyre. It's all tyre and quad pipes. I've got a tail light here where the indicators are actually in the tail light. So I'm not a big fan of that. So I've actually got indicators coming to put on properly. I've checked it, all the original wiring's still in there, which is good. Nothing's been cut. So actually just, I can just unplug what's on here and yeah. So I can still use the light, the tail light side of things. But I'm a big believer of having them, you know, and it's a legal requirement here to have them 180mm apart. I did put these mirrors on. I had to buy these. The mirrors they came with, they were aftermarket mirrors, and they were tiny little things, and they were blue, and they were pretty average. You couldn't see nothing out of them. So it's got carbon fibre on it. What else can I tell you? ABS is standard on these things from 10 years ago, which is pretty good. It's got all this carbon fibre on here. These are normally this colour, or a mixture of this and this on there, so pretty awesome. It's got aftermarket levers already on there, adjustables, and they're long ones too. I hate the short ones. My fingers are too long to use the short ones. I need to have like all that. I use all my fingers. What else can I tell you? They 138 horsepower thereabouts, about 111 newton meters of torque. And believe me, this thing absolutely hammers The bike weighs about 218 kilos fully fueled with a standard exhaust, so it's probably, I don't know, taking the standard off now, they're probably about 8 kilos each, so just over 200 kilos. Say power to weight's really good. It's smooth, if you can imagine being an inline 4. It's just a rocket. The thing handles like it's on rails. You know, that's really good. What else can I tell you about it? So there's probably not a lot of things I'm going to do with this bike. I just got to ride this bike more than anything. With summer coming to Perth now, I'm probably going to use it as a commuter as well, which is probably going to be a good idea. And I can keep the Ks down a little bit on my Iron 1200. There's a few things I probably will do to it by fixing up the tail, like putting the proper indicators in there. I'll probably get a slightly taller screen. You can get plenty of them off eBay and stuff like that. They come up to about here, and they're actually, that extra, say 3 or 4 inches is actually really effective. It does stop the wind from coming sort of at you at speed. Probably going to try and find, if I can, the sound inserts for these. Vance and Hines call them sound inserts, baffles to everybody else, and you know, that sort of thing. See if I can find them on eBay. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to, but I'll still try. It does get a little bit buzzy. The nature of the pipe is pretty much straight through off the cat. Oh, it's got the paddock stand thing, so I can put it on a stand and all the chain, that kind of stuff, clean the wheel. It has these pretty trick bar-end weights. I do have bar bar-end mirrors at home, but they won't fit. Bit disappointed, but hey, what do you get? That's what you get. It's already on there. I didn't have to pay for it. I did get the key, both keys. I got the books. They does have these really pathetic aftermarket rear sets on it. I don't like them. I've had to put, would you believe, you can see there, I've had to put that spacer in there. I had to go and buy longer bolts and put the spacer in there. The pegs were basically that narrow. What's that? 3 inches? Absolutely terrible. I just didn't feel right. I felt like my foot was going to slip off there all the time. So I bought one for both sides. You can see that one a bit better because it's in the light. So I put that spacer in there, and they're actually really good for now. The dealer where I bought it was trying to chase up with the guy that they traded it in from, to see if he still kept the original foot pegs. I haven't heard back from him yet, so I'm not liking my chances. So, but anyway, what I'll do is I'm going to go for a bit of a quick ride, take you along with me. It's not going to be very long, maybe 5 or so minutes. You can hear it, you can see it running, and I'll explain to you about the dash as well. The dash is quite unique. The dash actually has a bit of a gimmick, I suppose. There's a little knob you can pull in here, and you can actually raise the dash up and put it right down low. It has 3 settings. I always like the middle one, and it sort of locks in there. A bit of a gimmicky thing. It does have a fuel gauge, doesn't have a gear indicator. Trip A, trip B, your clock, speedo, you know, the standard stuff. And the good thing, the thing about this is orange, so it's really visible in all light situations, which is really good. I think that's probably why a lot of manufacturers in cars use an orange dash. But you watch it, I'll just crank it up. Sort of scrolls through its thing. Fuel gauge up there. The tacho comes up and across the top. 7,482 Ks. It's 854. See the tacho just there. You can hear that. She sounds like a beast. Anyway, we'll go for a quick ride. Just going to go around this lake. This is Herdsman Lake. I've brought you guys through here before, in through all the scrub and the parks here. Can't really see. There's a massive lake in there. You can't really see it. It's sort of, it's a nature reserve as well. So yeah, I might sort of be able to briefly look in there as we're going past. But so we will get going. Put that up because I want to get a little bit of a ride in before it rains. Spent the first one out of the ride nearly 2 weeks. That's why I've posted no content for a couple of weeks. Yeah, I keep forgetting that the indicator's riding on one side. You can see in through there, you see all the water in through there, through those trees. Okay, it's just a bit of a, this side here is a bit of a industrial commercial area. Pretty wicked road. Now I've got to be really careful. I'm not going to go ballistic because well, we have long weekend public holidays. The government, or the police department here, has a system called double demerit points, and we have these points for our licenses. You have 12 points which you can actually lose against your license. So if you get pulled over and fined, you get 2 points, 1 point, 3 points against license. You've got a total of 12. So once the 12 is used up, you actually lose your license. But on these, to keep the road toll down on the holidays, they actually have the system double demerits, so it just keeps everyone in control. There you go again, control. And yeah, so you just got to be really careful. They have hidden speed cameras everywhere. They've got quotas to make. It's nearly the end of the month, so you've got like a bit of a playing field in there. They do a lot of horse stuff in there, believe it or not. Oh, there's a guy in there with a remote controlled airplane. Oh, cool. See all these like rushes and bush and stuff, and we can get in there, but there's all just like little driveways and stuff, and there's all a lake system in there. Yeah. So as you can hear, the bike sort of buzzes along a bit. I've gotta love the sound of these things with a bit of pipe on them. A bit more roadworks. So we sort of come to where all the homes and that are along here. So this bike, as you can see the dash there, pretty cool. Not bad for a 10-year-old bike. I mean, when I did clean it, I must admit, I spent 3 hours cleaning this bike. It'd been sitting around at the shop. I think it comes straight from the farmer to the shop. The shop didn't even clean it. It was just dusty as hell. So I'm a bit anal, as you know, with my iron. It's always clean and shiny. And yeah, so I did that. Spent 3 or 4 hours on it, and it's absolutely, underneath all the dirt, it was immaculate. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. I know these bikes are really good fun to ride. They're extremely fast. They top out about 250 kilometers an hour. Not that you'll ever see me doing that. And if I do ever do that, it won't be recorded. That's incriminating evidence. Yeah, they're good fun to ride. They're so nimble and agile. And for all you guys out there that are just cruiser riders or Harley riders, yes, I have one bike of each style. So I wanted a quick naked sports bike, and I wanted my Harley. So I've kept my Harley. I'm not getting rid of that. I love that bike too much. So for all you haters, from one group to the other, haha, I have the best of both worlds. So I got my Go Fast bike, my cruising through the twisties bike. This is this one, and I got my Harley as well, which is my sort of just cruising around. You know, you can have spirited rides on the Harley. You know, when this thing will do 250 k's an hour, that's quick. Yeah, so if you have any questions about these bikes, I do have a little bit of knowledge about them. This is my third one. I've decided that I'm probably going to keep this one for a little while because you know, I was saving all year to buy a second bike, and I found this just came up. I was actually originally looking for a Honda CB 1300, the big old school looking muscle bikes. Couldn't find one in the market at the moment here in Australia. You cannot find bikes. It's a seller's market. There's nothing for sale. Everything's top dollar. That's why I grabbed this at $5,990. It is a pretty awesome bike, and it's actually in better condition than the last one I had. And I had the last one about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, and I actually paid nearly $8,000 for it with 3 times the K's. That's a 4th gear acceleration. That is insane. Just to give you some idea. Actually, sorry, it was 3rd gear. I did lie. These things are insane. I don't know how fast that sort of came across on on the camera there. Got to be a little bit careful when I corner. These tyres are brand spanking new, and I haven't been able to do enough case to scrub them in yet because of the weather we've had. Got to be really careful too, because the Harleys have self-cancelling indicators. These don't. And I quite often find myself forgetting to turn them off. Yeah, so my brother, he sold his 72. He got sick of the peanut tank. He absolutely hated getting only about 110 k's out of it. So he thought he's never ever had a sports bike. He's always had cruisers and stuff like that. He did have an adventure tourer, but he's always gone down the cruiser road from day dot. And so he, because I bought my 1000, he thought, you know what, it's a seller's market. So I sold. He got good money for his bike. They bought it outright off him for 11k. So he went and picked up a really tidy MT09 or FZ09, you guys call it in the Northern Hemisphere, and these are called a Z1000 up there as well. So you got an FZ09 or MT09, we call them here. Yeah, so he hasn't had a chance to ride it, and he bought it yesterday. And of course the weather has been absolutely cactus here. It's like winter. You've had your turn, now piss off. It's time for spring. Let spring have a go. No, we'll still be complaining it's too hot. So yeah, but this is an awesome bike. I'm very happy with it. Like I said, I'm going to be putting the original indicators back on. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to give you. It's just not worth losing your license for. Get to ride another day. Yeah, so we've come back pretty much around through there. There's all the lake system in there. You can't really see it because of all the trees and stuff. That's the park I was at. So I've come back around to this park system, and we'll leave it there. Just give us